Hello, Mr. John, and a big, big, big congrats on Waltzing with Brando, a captivating look at an almost forgotten story of a different side of the icon, Marlon Brando, with fantastic performances. I quite enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. So take us from the very beginning. What got you interested to join the cast as the true life architect, Bernard Judge?
I thought, A, this would be amazing to go shoot this movie in Tahiti. I mean, it's like a huge plus. And a chance to work with Billy Zane, a chance to kind of be part of like you're not at all your typical story. It's and genre. It's a biopic, but it's not quite a biopic. It's more of a like a 5 to 6 year period of the life of someone that everybody knows, and yet it's also the story that nobody knows. Yeah, we know everybody knows Marlon Brando, but very few from maybe people from that time and from that generation are aware that he bought an island. But most of your general public don't are aware that he bought an island, and so this is a story of not just he had already bought the island. It was like, all right, now that I got this island, what do I want to do with it? And so it was just kind of all those elements together that made it very attractive.
Right, they won't know about this story unless they read the book written by Bernard Judge, of course.
Yeah.
Mr. John, who is Bernard Judge? Describe him, how you saw him in your approach of the role.
Well, Bernard was, this architect who's like extremely good, very good at what he does, which is he was kind of known for, and he prided himself on being able to create, make uninhabitable places habitable, or at least building and designing buildings and structures for places that you would have a hard time doing that. And so, I think naturally Brando saw this and he was like, okay, this guy's got the qualifications. But, without giving him your typical job interview, he wanted to test him to see if he had the character as well. And Bernard, I think, here's a guy who was ready for adventure. He had traveled the world quite a bit, and he knew his stuff, but he was also not used to working in with clients who are so eccentric and different and create and never willing to say no. And
Yeah.
so Bernard, he has to grow. He has to change. He has to be in this. It was the longest he had ever been away from his family, and to completely envelop himself in the craziness of the island, in the craziness of the culture, and give it his all, and he does.
I know that, Mr. Judge had passed away 4 years ago, 5 years ago, but in your research about Judge and his relationship with Brando, what interesting things did you find that made you go, huh, that's interesting?
I think he starts out with kind of being this average Joe who didn't he knew who Brando was, but he wasn't like a cinephile. He was just your kind of your everyday guy who was like, oh, wait, this guy is the biggest actor in the world. So he's coming into a little bit like a little starstruck, but also they do form this relationship and this friendship, not just a working relationship, but it becomes a friendship. But with how close you would think he would get with them, and they were living on the same island, living in the same area, and they fought together and quabbled over decisions regarding this project. He still, to Bernard, Brando still remained a bit of a mystery to him. He was only able to see a certain elements and certain aspects of him, and yet Bernard was able to. He kind of he drank the Kool-Aid. He really got in. I wouldn't say over his head, but he captured that passion of Marlon, and he ran with it, and it overtook him in a way that he wasn't prepared, and he didn't realize he was going to get to that point.
That's one of the narrative arcs in the film, I believe. But speaking of Brando, Billy Zane is fantastic in
Yeah.
Describe his acting style and how was it working with him? I mean, was did he go method on you? Was he method or improvisational?
Um, it was, I mean, there's certain elements of method, but he's still pretty like, not insane himself. And
That's
he
quite
was,
Brando-ish.
yeah, yeah. Um, no, it was actually, it worked really well. He wasn't super method in that, you're like, well, wait, is he being him or is, yeah, he was very, but there was the element of method. I think it was I had worked with him previously on a profit on a project that he was more of himself and a little bit more of the professional version. And then on set, I think he was channeling Brando in his kind of this is Brando in his leisure element in his kind of I'm away from the public eye. I can just kind of be whoever I want to be. And I think there was an element of that Zane that Billy was channeling. And so it was easier to work with him actually in a lot of ways because he was kind of dad version. Brando didn't involve his family in a lot of his, professional life, but on the island, he was dad
Yeah.
Brando. And I got to see more of dad Billy and his daughter being playing my daughter actually in the film. And so I
Wow.
got to see a lot of that kind of more vulnerable and tender side, and
Yeah.
that was really cool.
So like Billy Zane's approach to the role, light and breezy. The film is light and breezy as well, but it also has strong themes like friendship, ambition, resilience, and the pursuit of harmony with nature, with all these ecological things, right? What theme spoke to you the most, Mr. John?
I think the themes of like you know trying the importance of always knowing who you are and what's important to you in your life and like family and friends while allowing yourself to lose your inhibitions and to become to fully let go of yourself uh, in the pursuit of pursuing a dream,
Yeah.
of trying to make the impossible possible. And at first, the theme of him kind of resisting against that a little bit. And while he's like sees the potential danger and letting himself go, he also and he does he experiences the downside of that, but he also experiences the upside, and he has to like figure out the blend of who am I
Yeah.
at this point, like what is more important.
Yeah. Is that what you hope for viewers to get after watching Waltzing with Brando on September 19th?
Yes, I hope they do. I hope they see, are treated to a story that they didn't know existed. And again, it's kind of a fun blend of genres where you're like, it's a biopic, it's a comedy, it's a drama, it's a comedy of errors, it's fish out of water's tale. You're not sure. You're like, okay, there's a lot going on here.
On a very beautiful setting, mind you.
Yes,
And real
yes.
quick, what's your favorite Marlon Brando movie?
Um, I mean, Godfather obviously is like pretty far up there. Yeah, it'd probably be Godfather. I mean, I may be, playing the obvious card there, but yeah, for sure.
Mine will be on the waterfront with a little bit of Superman.
Oh, a little bit of Superman. Okay.
A big congrats on Waltzing with Brando again. A fun and entertaining look at the icon with strong performances, worthy to be an Oscar contender. You could have been an Oscar contender.
Thank you very much.
Good luck on everything, Mr. John.
Thank you.